Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? How's it going? What's up? Welcome back to Foxman Plays Planet Coaster, our creative series. We're getting in there. We're in the backlog, the deep woods of the backlog sessions, and I hope it's been going okay so far. I don't normally record so many episodes ahead, but I'm in Norway. And I'm loving it. I think, I can guarantee you I'm having a good time while I'm there. Technically, I'm not there as of this recording. But, you know, I have powers. I can see into the future. Anyways, last episode, I feel like, you know, for me, I got a decent amount of work done on the design front and detailing point of view. Essentially, this series, it boils down to two, where there's the roughing it out, and then there's the detailing. So we did a lot of detailing, and the detailing, though, is like, that's something you really can't rush, right? It's like, for the most part, that's the way it's gonna be. So we finished up the stairwell here, connected it up, and placed a lot of rocks. I talked about nonsense, as I always do. I also did a little bit of a mini garden here. I didn't actually expect necessarily to put a tree here, but then it just seemed right. And then we've got some bushes around it to just kind of naturalize it. Threw in a few rocks here that I think feel quite right. I'm also going to change the lighting. Get ready for it. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Boom. Yeah, it's pretty jarring. But, so there's that, and we moved it close enough that it kind of has this natural sort of overhang, this canopy, the tree canopy. And to me, I love so much. There's just something about the tree canopy. It feels like nature's kind of blanketing you. Of course, you don't want it too close, because then you kind of feel like, I'm in the weeds. I got a branch in my eye, sort of thing, and all that. But I like it when, you know, there's maybe a row of trees that are, you know, very orchestrated on either side, but they're all like large, and they canopy over the road or the pathway, so it's essentially mostly covered. And I don't know, there's just something really nice about that. Anyways, I am not going to be working on this part this episode. As I said in the last episode, let's pause it here. We will come back to, well, we got to do the rocks on this part, so we're going to maybe do that in the next episode, or I might actually come in and work on this park over here. I've got a few ideas churning, kind of simmering on the back burner of my brain. For how I'd actually... I'm going to redo most of the pathway. Again, as you may remember if you saw the episode, I just put this in to kind of show what I was going for. Like, instead of it being one straight, thick pathway, it actually splits off, and then, you know, they merge again. But I kind of want to do that. But I want to play around with the terrain a little bit more here. I feel like I can pull some stuff up and do some cool cliff-like things, and of course more trees and bushes, and there's going to be lots of stuff on either side, in between, and then a little bit on this side as well, but maybe not quite as much on this side, because we might actually want to, I don't know, we'll see. This is still like a big space, right? The arrow, we gotta build that. We gotta design that over here. Gotta finish up the Rocky Mountains. And this is all, you know it. Like I said, this is all, well, the path that this is taking is set, but in terms of the elevation and stuff, and all the stuff that's gonna go around it is not set. This is, though, this is kind of very rough. But we're getting there, and I still want to keep making progress, so for now, it's easy to make progress on some of the stuff that doesn't require quite as much thought, because we've already put the thought into it previously when we roughed it out, so now we get to detail it. Although this track as well, we're going to do a proper bridge over here. Like a building. We're going to build a bridge. And I might borrow... This is where I'm glad I kind of designed this out to an extent. We might even try to build the bridge almost similar looking to this. And that'll make it easier. But that's for another day. Basically what I want to do is finish off kind of doing the rocky waterfall cascade here. And then maybe do a bit of nature around some of them, and as well along the pathways and stuff. We're not gonna get it all done today, of course not. You guys know me, but we're gonna try to make some headway. Of course, this is gonna be another. Well, I keep saying half-hour episodes, but they still end up 45, 50 minutes, close to an hour. So we'll see. We'll see how this one goes. Anyways. Let's just get to it. I think one thing that's gonna make my life easier is if we can get the intensity up a fair bit here. If we lower this down a bit, so there's nothing really poking through, so we don't have to cover it with too many rocks, essentially. You know what I could do? Let's go to 3. It's a good angle. Actually go like this for starters, and then we can actually fix the terrain around it as we please. Just kind of level it out a little bit. There we go, and then we'll just smooth this part there. There. I think what I do need to do is maybe just raise this part a bit right there. And oh shoot. This is interesting. We're gonna have to lower. I like how high this is actually. I don't want to lower this terrain. So first of all, let me delete this guy though, just because we don't need him. Basically, I want this to be on the same level, right? So that the water does flow into there. I'm just gonna do this manually. I'm not gonna do flatten to foundation. Not yet, anyways. I might come back and do that, but I feel like I've got a little bit of control with this right now. So let's just keep a hold of that control. There we go. Although some of this other terrain, we might decide to lower the sides a bit. Play it by ear. What do they say? Where did that originate from? I know I could do a Google Foo or Wikipedia, but does anybody just know off the top of their head? Play it by ear? What does that, like, how did it come to be a saying? I don't know. If you know, let us know in the comments. I like to learn something new every day, right? Maybe that could be it. So it is fairly deep there. I'm not necessarily sure I want it quite that deep there. So, oopsies, what I will do I'm gonna taper these edges a lot leading up to it, and then we'll smooth it out. Around here, I like it kind of being deep like that. I think it's kind of interesting, but I don't necessarily want it deep the whole way. All right, that's probably pretty decent for the one side. It's fairly high up there. You know what? It can stay. It can stay. Maybe we'll just lower it a touch. We'll come back and, you know, chisel it all out and smooth it all out and do whatever we want later on. But I just kind of wanted to get that a little fixed up. Yeah, I kind of like that little cliff-like. All right. And I feel like if I go like so, that the water would be rushing out this way and kind of eroding it here a fair bit underneath. So there's almost like an overhang because the water kind of crashing in as it flows out. And then almost the same thing as it's going around. You know. Maybe you don't know. I don't know. I don't think I know. You know, I do stuff sometimes. I think it makes sense in my head. But it's in my head, so of course it makes sense, right? I mean, of course it makes sense to me, right? Like, things make sense in your head. You know, it's weird. Like, the things we think, of course, they sound logical to us, right? Even if it's ludicrous to everybody else. That's the wild thing. Like, I don't know. I like to imagine that I'm a fairly rational person, but I don't know. Maybe external to everybody else, I'm just like, oh, I'm a maniac. But that's that's the weird thing about you know, just the psychology and whatnot of the human brain, man. Alright. We can actually afford to flatten this part down a little bit more so we don't have to rely so much on covering it up with rocks. And I am all for that. I mean, I like rocks. Rocks are my friend. My friends. Not as much as you. I mean, you guys are my friends. We're friends. But rocks, we're good. We're on good terms. Rocks and I. Alright. Oopsie, not pass. I want to go to scenery. See my old friends. So let's start relatively. Let's get something a little more flat going on there. You know what? This guy's got a meh. Yeah. Yeah, it works. Yeah, it works. Start with the big pieces. And then we can work our way down. This one's cool though. This is gonna be a long. We could have almost had enough room to do another like mini section of the river. But you know what? This is gonna be cool, I think. It's a fun little challenge. Let's try and keep the rocks relatively low, though. Not too high. Because she's so high. High above me. She's so lovely. I know, I can't sing. Don't worry, that's one thing I do know. Even though in my head I'm like, I'm the best singer of all time. I know I'm not. I might be a contender for the worst. And you know what? If you give me a trophy that says worst singer of all time, I'll make a mantle and then I'll put it on it. I think you know, doing you know, dirty joke, do it yourself is actually a fairly noble. I don't want to say noble, but I think it's important to have some things that you feel comfortable doing yourselves. I'm not saying, you know, don't go and support the various services industries, right? Like, if your car is making a funny noise and you don't know what's going on, maybe go take it to a professional who does. Of course, you also have to be careful. Sometimes, you know, mechanics get a bad rap, and some of them for good reason, others not for a good reason because they did nothing wrong. sometimes it's like people don't know anything about a car. There's a lot of parts and stuff involved. So like, yeah, you got to replace your transmission. It's gonna cost, you know, $2,000. What? But for somebody who doesn't really know, it's like, well, I need my car, right? So I guess I have to do it. I mean, it's always good, I feel, to know somebody. If you yourself don't, to know somebody who knows these things. Not like all these things. It's not like you have this one master Yoda of a friend who's super wise in all things. But, you know, if you have a friend who's decent with cars, get their opinion. Friend or uncle or dad or your ma or maybe your grandma. Maybe she knows how to fix that V8 Hemi you got going on there. You know? And then maybe you got another friend who's really good with something else. You know? I just realized I placed like 3 of the same rocks. We'll fix that, I hope. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. It's like, you know, for instance, my car. It's one of those things that I don't feel bad about not knowing how to take apart an entire engine. It's something I feel I could. Am I about to place the exact same rock for? Oh my God, Michael. If I wanted to, over enough time, I could figure out how to take apart an engine, put it back together. But, you know, there's other things I can spend my time on too, like playing video games. I just don't feel bad about going to a mechanic or something. But my dad does know how to do a lot of this stuff. So when there's something wrong with my 22, nearly 23-year-old car, Volvo 850 Turbo, yeah, baby. It's a deep red, kind of like almost a maroony burgundy. You know, I talked to him. Like, you know, it's been making this funny weird noise here or whatever. So he can kind of guide me and say like, well, it's probably this or that. It's definitely not that. So if they tell you it's that, tell them to get bent. It's just a way of making sure. Oh my God, we've got so much more to go. Well, what if we just kind of place it up high, a little bit higher, like that? There, that doesn't seem so bad. But yeah, the same thing if you know, maybe I want to cook a dish or something like that I've never done before, and I know my mom's, she's a good cook. She's good at baking too. She can do both really well. Like, hey, do you have a recipe you've ever used for this, or do you like have a suggestion? She'll be, oh no, don't use this, use that. It's much cheaper, and you know, it's easier to work with, and you know, it's just good. And I think sometimes people think it's taboo to ask people for help, but honestly, somebody who's really into a subject will, and as long as you're, you know, your friend as well, or like family or something, they'll help you for free. You know, it's not like if I went up to a random mechanic like, hey buddy, like, can you give me advice? This other mechanic's trying to screw me over. You know, they might be like, well, give me $50 and I'll tell you if they're screwing you over. But if that mechanic was your uncle, they could go on talking about cars for hours and hours. They probably love to help you because it's a great way to bond. So I feel like sometimes people are afraid to ask stuff because they feel like they're being a bother. But if anything, they're in a weird way doing them a favor because they've spent so much of their time learning about something and they just want to share their knowledge and their passion for it. I don't know. That's the way I view it. When people ask me about stuff that I really like, I'm head over heels. I'm ready to help. Just because it's like, you know, it's kind of like you want to strut your stuff. It's like, you know all this stuff, and they may not know how much about it you know, and it's a great way to help. I don't know. I don't know how I got to that topic. Oh yes, but doing it yourself. You know, there's also some things, you know, it's okay to learn how to do certain things yourself. We're on this planet for a decent amount of time. I don't know. And I think it's cool to learn something new every day. That's what I try to do. Learn something new. It doesn't matter if it's big or small. Learn how to tie a specific knot. Done. There you go. You learned something new. I'm going to take a sip of my drink. Okay. That's not... I didn't learn anything new there, but I needed to do that. Yeah, I don't know. So building stuff. It's like a mantle. You know, if I had a fireplace, you know, if I didn't live in an apartment, if I had a house and it didn't have a fireplace, that'd be a fun project I'd like to do. You know, build a nice fireplace or install a wood stove. I like to live kind of in a small. I mean small. There's the whole tiny house movement. I've been actually watching stuff on it for the past few years, but it's like really booming now. I don't necessarily want to live in 200 square feet, but I think it'd be fun to live in, you know, well, my apartment is 600 square feet, and this is plenty of space for two people. You know, as soon as you get kids or pets and stuff involved, then you kind of sometimes have to think, I mean, well, for pets, I mean, I also have like 3 aquariums, so, you know, they're my pets. But I mean, a cat would be fine here. These small dogs and stuff, but again, it depends on the breed of the dog. But I don't know, like 1,000 square foot. I feel like that's a lot to me. Let me think. So that's an extra 400 square feet. So that's a 20 foot by 20 foot room extra, or 4 10 by 10 rooms. So that's like a couple small bedrooms, a bathroom, more closet. You know, it's like really. And you think you go look in your room, your closet, whatever. Like, how much of the stuff do you actually use? Right? Over the years, I always gather more stuff, but I also try to actively just like give away stuff I don't use. Just get rid of it. I mean, do whatever is reasonable for the thing. It's 'cause, like, we're a fairly materialistic society. I want to get away from that. You know, 'cause it's like the more stuff you have, like, then you feel like I gotta more and more and more and more. It just never ends, though. I'm glad I'm kind of realizing that to an extent at a relatively young age. I don't want to be that 80 years old and be like, fuck, I guess I didn't need to buy that 4th Mazda Miata. You know, I really thought that once I had 4 Mazda Miatas that I would be truly finally happy in life. But no, I guess I need to buy a 5th Mazda Miata. Then I think I'll be happy in life. You know, it's like, it's this never-ending pursuit. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. This seems like okay. You know, it's kind of sloping, right? I mean, it is. I feel objectively that is a slope. I don't know. I couldn't prove it to you mathematically, but somebody could. You know, a mathematician. For starters. Alright, more water. Yeah, go get some. You don't got a glass of water? You should pause the video and go get some. If your tap water's okay, like in terms of taste, you don't mind it. My tap water, I'm fine with it. Go get it. It's like pennies. I live in an apartment. I don't even have to pay for the water. Some apartments you do. But yeah, I don't. So there's really 0 excuses. I also just generally don't like bottled water. At least, I don't know, just the idea of drinking out of that flimsy plastic kind of is off-putting. But I also understand a lot of people, depending on where your tap water comes from, or maybe you're just like on a well, or you have a cistern or something like that. bottled water is really the only way to go. Or, you know, the big water cooler jugs. Actually, the house I grew up in, we had to have one of those because we had a cistern. So we every week, every other week, we'd have to have the water truck would come in and pump it into the basement. And when I was younger, or if it was on the weekend, you know, I'd usually kind of help my mom because the guy would be outside with the hose and it'd be going in, and we'd have to tell him, like, stop it, right? And one time my mom forgot and it flooded a bit. Although that was like, we had 2 basements. This is a small house and you know, a family of 6, right? But it's just a little bungalow. The original portion was built by my great-grandpa. On my dad's side, my great-grandpa Fox. And then, before I was born, my dad and his dad, or, you know, my grandpa Fox, they built onto it. They built a living room. They built another basement and stuff like that. Like, more of a living, entertaining basement. This basement was just the cistern basement, so it's basically not much down there, but a couple shelves where my mom would keep her preservatives and whatnot. You know, she'd be making salsa and dill pickles and all sorts of jams and whatnot for as long as I've been alive. She still does, and they're still darn good. Darn tootin'. Oh, you know what? We could actually do maybe like a bit of a bigger drop right kind of here. Yeah. But, yeah, so that's another case of, you know, I would like to build my own house one day. Or renovate an existing one. Because, you know, I don't like... The thing is, like, the only reason I'd want to build my own house is because I don't want to go and buy, like, a 5,000 square foot monstrosity. Just because, like, that's... You know, it's like everybody's doing it. It's like, why do you need a house that big? I understand you want a bedroom for each kid. Fine, I can get that. But up until I was, I don't know, 8 years old, I think I shared a bedroom with my one brother. And, you know, it was fine. Bunk beds, I was top bunk, heck yeah. Heck yeah, boy. But yeah, it's just like, why do you need 20 different living rooms? I don't know. Like, some people's garages, they're huge. I guess, you know, they need to be if you got that many Mazda Miatas. Listen, I'm not trying to be like a saint or something. Like, oh, everybody should live in a small house. Just saying, if I were building a house from scratch, or buying a house in general, I would look for a small one. Because I've identified, it's just more to upkeep, you know? When you think about it. More to clean. I don't need that. Like, a family of 6, we had 1 bathroom. Nowadays, people are like, what? It'd be like, what? You have 1 bathroom? When my brother and my sister, because I have two brothers, but the oldest brother and my sister, who is the oldest of all of us, when they first were at the house, there was not a bathroom in the house. There was an outhouse. This is not, I mean, how old am I? How old am I? I'm 28. So that makes my other brother 35. Wait. 36. Wait, hold on. I can let me do the math. 3. See, 36? 20, what's 28 plus 5? 33 plus 4, 36. Yeah, he's 36, 37, something like that. And then my sister's, you know, she's just turned 40. And so yeah, I mean, that's not that long ago to have an house. So then when we had the one bedroom or the one bathroom in the house for 6 people, it was like, it was generally fine though. I mean, you find a way to make it work. Like, you might think, oh, you know, in my current house we have 3 bathrooms and there are 5 people, and that's hard at times. But honestly, you know, when you get put into a situation, you just find a way to work. Holy fudge, that's a lot of rocks. That's a lot of rocks. Anyways, let me kind of clean up maybe these sides a little bit more. So yeah. It's like one of those things, is it worth it to you to spend all the extra money to have an extra bathroom or 2 or 3? I guess if you've got the money, then yeah, like what else are you going to spend it on maybe, but you know. I don't know. Okay, I gotta stop preaching and all that. I just personally, I like smaller, cozy spaces where you can really spend a lot of time making each part of it special, right? The bigger something is, the harder it is to make each part just intricately designed. You know, like this. This is gonna be hard for me to do what I want, you know. But I just like that. Like every spot, everything has its there's rhyme to its reason. There's a purpose for it. I don't want just like a big, I don't know, is the music sounding a little buzzy? It sounds a little buzzy. I'm sorry if you can wait. Let's try something. Turn it off for a second. Oh, it's still a little buzzy. Maybe it's just my headphones? I don't know. I hope it's not my headphones. These are relatively new. It could be. I don't know what I was talking about. Houses and stuff. Yeah. I like designing stuff. Waste not, want not. I think we could get away with not doing too much more here. But let's see. Let's see. I just kind of want to get the sides a little slightly, I guess, elevated. We're going to have to do a lot of sprinklers. And I also realize I'm going to have to end the episode quite soon. But at least let's try to get this section done and get a few sprinklers in. And then we can call it a day. What do you say? And then maybe in the next episode, I will go and work on that little park on the other side that I was talking about at the beginning. It's just a lot of rocks, man. Oh, I did. My bad. All right. We don't really need to put some there. Okay. So now we go to our little props, special effects, what have you. Water sprout. Let's hit play just so we can actually see. So this river up here is kind of going to be it's going to be more violent coming down here. And then technically it's going to build up speed. And it's going to be violent here. But I kind of want it to, it's going to slow down. And it's crashing up against these rocks. It's going to start to lose a lot of its momentum here. And then finally when it gets here, it's just like, going to be gentle little trickle. Although we are going to put a few rocks along here and have a little light splashing as well. Just so you get the added sound of this. As you can hear. It's quite lovely. But yeah, we definitely want it kind of violent up here. All right. Wee wee. That's a weird sound, man. Yeah, I'm hearing like this weird buzz. I must be going crazy. Oopsies, that didn't place. Alright. Yep, there's the buzz. The buzz is back again. It's back. I think I'm gonna need to set this to, Okay, hold on. I'm gonna stop this for a second. Hold on. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay. Hello. Welcome back. I don't know what the game was doing, but I could hear the weird fuzzy, and I'm pretty sure that means you could have heard it with the music, so I think it's fixed. Oh, I heard the train, the choo-choo train. That's gonna be so cool. I need to fix this part of the track, obviously, and we need to do a proper bridge here and clean up all this, but it's gonna be so cool seeing the train just go through here when we get it all finished up. But speaking of finishing up, let's get this done so we can say bye-bye for this episode. Let's get this down a little bit. Oh, you can hear it, man. I might switch that to the winter themed train as well. I should maybe think about doing. Oh no, I wonder. I might have to replace all the track. Would I? I don't think so. I just need to replace do the different station. With the winter update, there's an additional train. It's kind of more wintry vibe. I think it would go well in the Alpine area though, and just the general designs that we're going for here. Forgot we can rotate these guys. Yes, yes, yes. Of course we're losing money. Egad, man. Wait. Oh, there we go. Rotate a little bit. Oh, I see a little bit of grass there. Not anymore. Okay, let's get a few mediums in. Oh, you can hear the train from so far away. I really love that. I love it so much. So much. Choo choo. Because when I was a kid in the house I grew up in, there's a train track way in the distance, like freighter train for the most part. And late at night, around 10 o'clock? Maybe 11 o'clock? You'd hear a distant choo choo. It's quite nice. Alright. You know, get another large guy somewhere in here. Just kind of get a look back. I don't want to overdo it, but at the same time, I want to do it. Let's rotate it a bit. Get one right around here as well. Get a few small guys in here, perhaps. Small guy with a medium guy just to kind of blend it a little bit. I don't know. I do kind of wish there was a bit more variety in the spray pattern. It's like you could pick the size and then you could pick from a few different animations per each one. Just because it looks, you know, it does take me out of it a bit. And that they all look kind of the same. But it's okay. This one's actually pretty heavily... Oh, yeah, because that's more of a waterfall right there. This one's a little more stable, but we should... Oopsies. Excuse me. This guy's not doing what I want him to do. Okay, now X. We move him up. Move him in. Like a fair bit. A little bit more, actually. Okay, now we can place another one. Make it nice and easy so we don't have to do all that work over again. And maybe we even put one up here, pull it up a little bit higher. Boom. I'm okay with that. We can always come back and change it. That looks not too bad from back here though. Yeah. So then as well, we're gonna have some of these sprinkler sprouter doohickeys kind of in a lot of these corners up here, because the water, as it's coming down here, it's gonna be going so fast and it's gonna crash up against the corner, and then it's gonna redirect, then it's gonna crash up against this one with a little bit less energy, and it's gonna come down here still, you know, maybe make a little bit of a splashy here. Maybe crash up against this guy a bit harder because it's 90 degree. We might have to make this one seem a little... I don't know if we make this one seem a little less violent. It's all good. So, I don't want to spend much more time. Really. I gotta end this. So... I'm not going to do any trees and bushes like I originally thought I was. I honestly thought I would have some time for it. I know. I miss, I gotta, you know, I am gonna clean that up though. Let's just push these guys away. Now that we're seeing them. Just a little guy, little birdie. There we go. I think I got them all. But that's, I mean, for another episode, nice, lovely, naturalized kind of trees and some bushes here. The thing is, like, we're not going to be able to do a blanket of trees, as much as I would love that. So we got to pick our battles. But I think this would be a great spot to kind of have some more trees and stuff like that, some bushes, and then kind of, oh, that's cool. I can't actually wait to come back and do all the trees and stuff here, but I love how smooth and elegant that is. Actually, might not be the most exciting ride of all time. What is it again? It's still pretty good though. It's all greens, so you know what, that's not bad. That is the one goal for this, have all greens for everything. But yeah, also, we gotta remember, do I want to do the tunnel here? Do I want to do it here? Do I want to do them in both so that they can access over there? But yeah, we'll get some nice trees and bushes, and then it'll be, you know, sporadic bushes and rocks in some areas. Of course, we're also going to be putting a lot of buildings and shops, too, and rides. So they'll take up some of the space. But I like this area, too, how it just kind of naturally kind of cascades down like this. Might put in a few more rocks in some of these areas here. We'll get some bushes and stuff. Oh, that's so... I just like that. I just like that coaster now a lot more. That's cool. But, and this pathway. Actually, now, that's another thing. How do we handle it over here? Do we maybe end up just going... There's going to be a tunnel there. Do we have it kind of cut across here? Do a nice little bridge. Then it can branch off, go this way. And then also come down this way. So we can get rid of, you know, some of this stuff. I did like the idea of this kind of connecting here. But it's going to be very busy here. So I feel like we just end this somehow. Get rid of this part here. But then, yeah, I have the pathway comes down here. We'll have to figure it out. Lots of nice little challenges for us. But I think next episode, I want to work on this. And next episode might be the last backlog episode, actually. So I'm going to have several videos of feedback from you guys to apply on future episodes. I think the next episode is the last backlog, if my math is correct. It might not be, though. We'll find out. But I do kind of want to work on this too, as well. I love hearing that train. That's so cool, man. That adds to the atmosphere a lot. Where is it even? I don't even know. Yo, train, where you at, dog? It's going around the corner. Yeah, I'm gonna get the other train. I like the look of the other train. Let me see if I can find it. It's this one. Let's just place it so you can see. See, this one's it's a little more metal. I don't know. This one seems a little bit more, you know, it's got wood right here. It's got these nice wooden seats. Nice kind of wooden detailing. I like it a fair bit. I think it's gonna work. So we'll do this one instead. But anyways, that's enough. I've already gone way over the time again. Way to go. No, but yeah, it's coming along slowly but surely. I'm loving it. I hope you guys are still loving it, and thank you all very much for those that do come back and continue to support and provide just awesome, very, very nice comments and feedback and all that stuff. It does mean a lot to me. Whether you think I'm sincere or not, I don't know how to prove it. I am. I appreciate your time a whole heck of a lot. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next episode. So that's gonna do it for this one. Until the next one, peace out.